to AGTV Abuja Today live in the city of Abuja. I'm Jethro Ilya. Yes, today we shall be taking a look at the judgment that was passed some few weeks back, that is between the chairman of Abuja Municipal Area Council, Christopher Zakamekalongu of the PDP, and Murtala Karishi Usman of the APC, who ran side by side against the PDP in the just concluded FCT Area Council election in Abuja Municipal Area Council. Yes, with me in the studio this morning, I have the spokesperson and supervisor councillor special duties to Zakamekalongu. Good morning. Good morning.
Happy to have me.
Ian, Mr. Ian. Good morning. And then by my left, I have Chidawa Shitu, who is speaking on behalf of the APC candidate, that is Murtala Usman Karishi. Good morning. Welcome. All right, we'll move straight to the points. Basically, a few weeks ago, a judgment was given by the tribunal that was looking at the chairmanship election for Abuja Municipal Council between Zakamekalongu and Usman Karishi. Let me start from you, the PDP person. How did you receive this judgment?
Well, for us as people, that judgment came as a surprise, because for us it was a miscarriage of justice, and that is why we reject it in its entirety, and there is nobody that participated on the 12th of February election who will not reject that outcome of the lower tribunal. And for us as a people, that was why we immediately proceed to appeal against the judgment of the lower tribunal. Why? Because reasons given by the lower tribunal for giving the winning to the APC candidate,
Murtala
Karishi, was unfortunate, uncalled for, unreasonable, and unattainable to anybody that participated fully in that February 12th election.
Okay, from you, Shitu, were you surprised at the judgment? Were you expecting it, and how did it come to you?
Okay, thank you so much. I think I'll pause for a minute and say congratulations to AGTV. I think it's my first time of coming to AGTV.
Thank you.
Just like my colleague has said, it's not a surprise, because in court of law, I think is the last ambit of the masses. Whoever participates in the last election, I think about 14 parties participated in the last election,
yes,
across 1,004 polling units. Out of these 1,004 polling units that we participated, after the results were declared on the 13th of this, my colleague here will bear me witness that in the result sheet, election was conducted on 12th.
On the 12th, yes.
While the result was declared on 13th. So how can the result was written 12? And if you check the result critically, you understand that the election which was conducted on 12th and declared on 13th should not be carrying the 13th. I was invited yesterday to this program on 23,
yes,
and today I'm here on 24. So if anything now I'm going to sign in that I came to AGTV, I'm going to sign what? 24. And this, we as law-abiding citizens will look at the irregularities that happened.
Was this the reason for going to court?
Yes, we approached the court of law, because the court of law, every politician should have a court of law, a common
the hope of the common man.
The hope of the common man as the ambit. So we approached the court with our prayers that this is what happened. We put about 3 prayers: irregularities in the election, we challenge the qualification of this, and we should also look at this thing and give and if possible cancel the election and
do a run
election in some of the places where challenges. So this is why we approached the court, and the court listened to our prayer after looking at it and everything.
Okay, Ian, you heard what you said.
Yeah, I did.
Looking at what the tribunal give out, he said their prayers were that the election was held on the 12th, and results were signed or written on the 13th.
Yes.
If I get it correctly.
The election was on 12th, and the result was declared on 13th, because all compilation was done on 13th. So it should be what carrying 13th as the date which the result was declared. Yes. But the result was carrying 12, when the election is still on process.
Who is responsible for putting out the date that this election was concluded or was conducted and concluded? Who?
First and foremost, it's laughable
Okay.
that election that was conducted on the 12th should be written 13. Very laughable.
Okay, but
Laughable in the sense
Okay.
that collation of results was done on the 12th.
yes.
I was at the collation center at
Caro?
INEC office at Caro,
Okay.
and all results tricked in from 10 o'clock.
PM
Yes,
on the 12th
yes.
February.
11 o'clock. In short, let me be frank with you. The last result that came in was that of Kabusa result.
Kabusa. Okay.
Yes, the one that was even expected that would be delayed,
Yes. Which is
which was Karishi.
okay because of the
Yes.
the distance.
No, not just the distance, because of the some problem that happened
Okay.
at Uruzu.
Was there violence?
There was disagreement within some persons in
Karishi?
Uruzu.
Okay.
And you know very well that you have to pass through Uruzu
To get to Caro.
to get to Caro.
All right.
Now, these results start trickling in from each of the ward collation centers to INEC office at
Okay.
Caro.
Okay.
Now, as these results are coming in, mind you, we use beavers
For the election.
for that election.
According to the new electoral
Exactly.
act.
And what does that imply is that even before you get to the polling units, before you get to the collation center of INEC, beavers with the transmission of results electronically
Must have been
have
submitted already.
When we arrived at venue, we saw results already on the screens.
Of other words.
Yes.
Okay.
That even before the last result that we're expecting from Kabusa and Gwarimpa came, we already seen it on the screen.
Okay.
It was already on the screen. So the issue of whether result came in or not, because you transferred those results electronically.
Okay.
It has already.
It was
already the date. The date
is irrelevant.
That's why I'm coming here.
Okay.
Election was conducted on the 12th of February, not 13th.
Okay.
We must have it very clear.
So the results should carry 12.
Okay, thank you.
Is that your
You
argument?
You said something now. Let me clear that impression, because like we said, we approached the court based on the basic ground. We looked at the irregularities.
Okay.
And he said the election started collecting by what? By 10 p.m. He didn't say when the result was final. I remind him, because
Okay.
the Kabusa came around
2 a.m.
No, 2 p.m., not a.m. On
2
Sunday.
p.m. on
Yes.
Sunday.
Yes,
Whoa.
on Sunday. That's when the
Is that
Kabusa
true?
arrived. And
Could that be true?
let me clear that impressions. The beavers, even with the recent announcement by the INEC, nobody, even this 2023 election, is transferring result electronically. The
Okay.
only thing is authentication. That you have to know the procedure and the process of what you are engaging. Have the knowledge of what you are engaging into. The
Okay.
result was not transferred electronically. What only you can view is the authentication.
Of.
The number of the people that were authenticated in each polling unit,
To vote.
not result. INEC has also made it clear that 2023 election is not going to be transferred electronically. It's going
Okay.
to be collecting and forward to their screen,
Centers.
not transfer electronic. Understand something electronically. When we say electronic, we mean digitalization. I want to talk about digitalization is different from half digitalization. Now, coming to the issue of
The court.
the
reason for going to court.
the reason for
That's where
going to
we
court.
are right
You
now.
understand? Now we have about virtually the 4 area council go to court. Abaji go to court. PDP file a case because they look at the irregularities in the election. Buhari go to court. Amac go to court. Kuje go to court. All these things were before the court of law because they look at it that, okay, there are some certain irregularities which are
That we
not
observed.
comfortable with it. We observe and we approach the court to look into this. Court judge based on the law and also the facts. Facts were presented. PDP, from the process of which it take longer from February till when the result was declared, which is this thing
On the 13th.
on the 13th, you can see the duration of time. Everything was done openly. Their representative for the INEC, they recount the whatever we said we are not clear, the
Okay.
unit we say we are not clear, the word we say we are not clear, all representatives were there. Both the PDP, the APC, the police, and the security agents were there. Then courts now go based on what? The facts and the law. It's
Okay.
based on the merit of the fact presented before them. They put their judgment.
Okay.
And now the judgment, there are about 3 judgments which PDP has been crying fallacy and the rest of it. If today the Abaji, which was given to the PDP, in favor of PDP, but we have not seen PDP to say that we lack merit or we lack courage or we lack confidence in the court of law. We have seen Buhari versus PDP versus ABGA, where the ABGA people, the judgment is in favor of the PDP. We have not seen PDP crying out loud that is against us. We have seen in Amac, the city center was given to the PDP in the councillorship. We have seen in this in Kuje, we have seen in Gwagwalada, we have seen in Abaji. All these things. About currently 9 judgments have been passed. Only 2 are in favor of the APC. 7 are in favor of PDP. Why is PDP crying out loud for that of Amac alone?
Okay. Now, moving forward, the judgment has been given. You are now in the appeal court, in the appeal committee. What are your prayers, Mr. Ian?
Well, the prayers are very simple. Now, at the tribunal, let me quickly correct an impression.
Okay.
Judgment was given in Abaji. What was the judgment? As at the time of election, APC had no candidate.
Okay, APC had no candidate in Abaji.
Yes, and that was the judgment.
Okay.
As at the time of election, when election was conducted on the 12th of February, APC had no valid candidate. So they did not participate in that election in Abaji.
Okay.
It's a very different issue here we're talking about.
Okay. Now what about Amac?
In Amac, APC raised the issue that was used, not the time, not the dates.
Okay.
Let me clarify that. I'm coming to that. It's not the issue of date. Issue of date is a fallacy. It does not hold water anywhere.
Okay.
In the face of the law.
Okay.
Sir, let me tell you, 12 polling unit was being argued by the APC.
Okay.
That those 12 polling units, they were cancellations of APC's result. 12.
By who?
By INEC, according to them, because INEC was the umpire of that election.
Okay.
It was not APC, neither PDP or any other political party. The umpire in that election was INEC. Now, their argument was that 12 polling units centers were unjustly cancelled that made them not to be favored
in the election
in those 12 polling units.
Okay.
Now, listen and listen very well. Before the tribunal commenced fully, APC applied to the tribunal to inspect material. Immediately, PDP knew that they have applied. We did same. And we also given the nod. The PDP, the APC, and other security agencies, INEC officials, were all at Area 10
to inspect
these materials. So I'm coming. This material was inspected. No one of those polling units was found to have had issues of cancellation.
That's the 12 polling units that were argued by the APC.
Yes. Now, normally when you check all of that, what is done is forensic analysis.
Okay.
Forensic analysis will be carried out
on the results.
On the results. That is the proper thing to be done. As far as this, if you raise an issue that there is a manipulation or anything, you were wrongly, polling centers was wrongly cancelled for no reason. One, in each of these polling units that were cancelled, there must be a report that lead to the cancellation.
Was there a report?
None. Sir, I'm coming. I am coming, sir. None. None. I mean none.
Okay.
That was brought before the court.
Among these 12 polling
12 polling units, none.
All right.
Now, what is normally done is that if you argued of 12 polling units have issues, the parties will all have opportunity even to photocopy. They requested to photocopy. We also requested to photocopy. At the point, they abandoned photocopying. At INEC office at Area 10.
Okay.
Now, when they abandoned photocopying, we were continuing with our own photocopying.
Okay.
Yes. Till observation took place, checking all the ballots, and if there was malpractice, if there was anything in all this, not just even the 12 polling units alone, in other polling units.
Okay, others were also carried.
Yes, they were scouting, looking for wherever. All of this took place at INEC. So as I speak with you now,
there is no one forensic analysis before the court. None. As I speak with you, I bet anybody to challenge me that he should be able to prove that there was a forensic analysis that was brought to the court to have enabled the court to arrive at the judgment. None. I bet you now. You are a journalist, make your findings. That is one. Two, as I speak with you, none of these materials were taken to the tribunal as it has always been.
Okay.
Because when you discover anomalies in any of the polling units, you present it to the tribunal.
Was there any means?
So I am coming.
Oh, go ahead.
You present it to the tribunal that this is where you discovered anomalies. As I speak with you, APC dumped those same material they came to inspect at Area 10.
That they requested?
Yes. They dumped it up till this moment at Area 10. Okay. And I bet you to make your findings.
Okay.
I am still coming, sir.
Okay.
Now, we all appeared at the tribunal. Let me tell you where the concoct figures came from.
Okay.
The concoct
figures
figures
want to know.
In these 12 polling units came from the Nigerian police.
As alleged
so I am
by you?
coming as alleged by me, and I want the police to challenge me.
Okay.
Yes.
As alleged by you?
As alleged by me. The Civil Defense Corps. And I want the Civil Defense Authority to challenge me.
See, as alleged by you?
Yes, as alleged by me. And again, some personalities that is unknown to law called supervisors from APC. Supervisors. That's the name of persons who appeared.
Were they agents?
So I'm coming. Who appeared at the tribunal. So I stand here to challenge the APC spokesperson. None of their agents from the APC was at the tribunal to testify. None.
But
so I'm coming.
Supervisors.
So I am coming.
I think I'll come
so
in
I am
to have a fair ground.
You will be given opportunity. I am the one here, sir.
Let him land.
Sir, as I speak with you, APC could not bring any of their agents to testify. What they brought was some persons called supervisor that is unknown to law.
Were they rejected by the tribunal? As you said, they are not recognized by law.
Yes.
Where the same law should have rejected them to say you are not known to law or recognized by the party.
Now, this is the presentation that was brought by the APC lawyer, that these are persons that were in charge of their various polling units and various wards.
Okay.
In the tribunal, you must always be given opportunity to air out.
Okay.
It is only when it comes to evidence that the tribunal would either reject it or admit it.
Okay.
Now, when the police came, when the police came to the tribunal with the result sheet they brought and dumped at the tribunal.
Okay.
The same thing APC Civil Defense did. Now, these are INEC came.
I was going there.
INEC came, and INEC brought the result. And they were asked, sir, let me tell you what the question that were asked at the tribunal. INEC was asked, the result you have come with the 12 polling units that you have brought, is there any other result
that is left somewhere?
Yes, or different from the said. INEC said, this is the only result that corresponded with the one PDP agent tendered at the tribunal.
All right. Now, you've heard from Mr. Ian. How do you react to this?
Okay, first let me say that we all know that INEC has its office in Karu. When the process started, there was, I think, a breach of security, make an attempt to burn down the system when we requested to investigate the was
that done during the coalitions or during the court process?
When he's saying that about authority, all what we present was satisfied by the law. There's what we call satisfied true copy. Immediately after the election, we start our investigation. We apply to the INEC on the 17th of February.
Okay.
We apply for certified true copies of all the materials. And anything we present before this, if I'm presenting any document today that is not truly satisfied, then the document is not valid.
And then should be rejected by the tribunal.
And in this election, we have observant. We have, I said, about 14 parties participated.
Okay.
We have security agency. all the security agencies that participate were spin. And even during the hearing, the process in the tribunal,
Yes.
PDP present the result that was not even stamped. There was no true certified copy.
Oh.
And even what they requested was on 22nd of April, when the process is ongoing. We requested ours certified true copy 17th of February, which election was conducted on the what?
On the
12th of the February. Now we spin all the security agencies, the party, where we think. And you know, there are just of recent some group of this thing that has come that they are this and that they participated in the election. The election that was conducted in 1,004 polling units, and you're having less than 100 votes, and you're clamoring that you have a result of this thing. If all
Who
your
would that
agent,
be?
if you have agent across the 1,000 polling units, your
Yes.
agent could have been vote for you. Now coming to the police that is making allegation and everything, police were spin. Requested the tribunal requested police to present their
copy of
the copy of
results?
the document. Likewise, any other, I challenge any other agency that participate in that
in the election.
And there's what we call authority release. If you request for document, authority must have to accept and also attest it. Like the result forgery I say we put in the prayers. The principal of the school come and attest it, which is challenge. We in the APC should even be crying a foul that we are being not given a fair hearing on justice ground.
Because of
the result
the
was
prayer
not given
for
until
the result
the
forgery.
principal attested, and there's even an issue of fake affidavits. The commissioner, chief commissioner for oath, also come to the court and attested. This authority that this document were fake, this were fake. All these our prayers before the tribunals.
Okay.
Then when they present, their lawyers is there to cross-examine anybody that comes before
The court.
the court of law. He should have done that. They shouldn't do it. After everything, the hearing and the authority has been presented that document. When the INEC staff come to this, because the custodian of the document must have a release letter, an authority letter that this is the document
And
being
it's coming
given
from-
and is coming from an authority.
Okay.
They didn't present that from authority. And I challenge him, if any one of their result that they formulate has a certified true copy, you should come and present it to the court.
But he mentioned that
and
the
it does not coincide.
INEC was asked if they had other results else aside the one that was presented by the
It does-
PDP that
something-
correlates with that of the
Something that
INEC.
is no, it's just their own way of manipulating and rigging that they now go and formulate with. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
If INEC authority can be called and release a staff to come to the court of law without an authority letter, that is what? That is what?
Mm.
To come without an authority letter. So this is a groundwork of PDP.
Now, does it then mean
Now-
that INEC didn't originally send that person? Is that what
Send
you're
that
saying?
person. It was just a mere PDP manipulation, which after all cross-examination, now that he said our agent did not come, I'm the one crying. There are other party that come, PRP come, Labour come, other party that come, ABGA come, with also their result, which coincide with that of the APC were alleging that were fraud.
Was there another party that brought up
Yes,
results
there is.
that matches
There are
with that of
parties
the PDP?
that match.
Mr. Ian.
No anyone. I challenge him. No anyone that matches. It's
Hold on.
only that PDP.
The result that were brought.
Let me tell you, the
Okay.
APC can concoct results and share to other political parties that were not even strong in the election. They can do that.
But
But
you have
let me also let you know, the only authority, not APC, not PDP, that is the custodian and the producer of results is INEC.
Okay.
No matter any agent from any political party, be it 1 million that came out with one concoct result arranged by APC to bring to the tribunal, does not hold water.
Okay.
Now, he has mentioned something here which I need to clarify.
Okay. Go ahead.
INEC was supreme to be there. And the person that came from INEC was on authority to be there.
But he didn't present an authority letter.
I am pleased.
And
When you
that's
were
what he
speaking,
was
when you were
examining.
speaking,
Let him learn.
INEC official that came to the tribunal was pinned
Okay.
to be there. And he was there on authority of INEC.
Okay.
And he presented the document that they produced, not APC, not a PDP,
And what
not
was
any agent.
what was his
And-
observation?
He said,
What was INEC's observation of the result presented by APC?
when the day INEC came was not the day APC presented their result.
Okay.
Yes.
But was
Now-
INEC
Now I am coming.
privy to seeing that result?
Which of the result?
presented by the APC.
There's no way INEC could have seen it and accept it because it was not their product.
Okay, what did they say?
As
What did
far as
INEC say?
INEC, that was why that question was thrown to the INEC based on the fact that some results have already coming from APC and police
other,
and others.
agencies.
That was why that question was asked to INEC.
If there's another
If there is
result,
any other result different from this one you are presenting as the maker and producer of this result, mind you, the maker and producer does not need CCT.
okay,
Now, anybody, and again, sir, the PDP result that they have is a certified true copy.
he mentioned something that
Sir,
is not stamped.
listen,
How true is that?
can that be fact? It doesn't hold water, those statements.
Okay, go ahead.
The document PDP brought to the tribunal are certified true copies. And again, this is why, as a journalist, sir,
Yes.
you also help Nigerian citizens and help the country for us to move forward.
That's
Now,
what
let
we're
me
here.
also tell you,
That's what we're here.
certified true copy cannot be two.
Okay,
It's supposed to be one. Now, if there is two certified true copy, then something is wrong somewhere.
now the copies presented by APC,
Yes.
like I ask again, was it rejected by either the tribunal or the INEC? Because I understand that, like you mentioned, INEC is the only umpire in charge of producing even results.
Exactly.
Now, if APC or PDP had brought up a result and INEC brought one, and one of these results from either the APC or the PDP is correlating with that of the INEC, INEC is supposed to maybe raise eyebrows as to find that this other one or this one is not.
No, but I've told you here in a very clear terms. I have told you the APC and others that tendered, INEC was not there.
Okay.
Now INEC came.
Was
Now
that supposed to be a
INEC came
cross observation because
of the result presented by PDP
Yes.
and the result presented by APC and others.
Yes.
Now INEC was now invited in.
Okay.
Spin to be there. They brought their result that corresponded with that of the PDP.
Okay.
And that was why they were asked, having known that some persons and individuals have already come to the tribunal with other results. Mind you, when you come to the tribunal and present your result, it will be admitted.
Okay.
It is based on the fact that will come from the producer. The producer
I will render either valid or invalid.
one time.
Did the result from INEC render either of the APC or PDP invalid?
The result from INEC that was tendered at the tribunal rendered that of the APC and the police invalid.
How come we now have hold it there? How come the tribunal declared your candidate winner as elected by him, that INEC results rendered yours invalid? How did you arrive at that point?
It doesn't render it invalid. And just like my colleague here has been said, most of things are laughable at this. When we are talking to the Nigerians and our audience, we have to tell them the truth exactly the way it is.
Yes.
And him saying here that INEC representative has an authority. Mind you, they do the spinning.
Okay.
Has an authority. No. To even admit it, because first you have to say, coming from authority, you have to come with an authority letter before the court can
Grant you access.
And I told you that our certified true copy were from 17, which will go from the cyber of the INEC and get everything. And if we can bear witnesses that the result sheet from EC8, the accreditation, and the total number of the vote were all different. The same election that were conducted having different figures claimed by the
So there are different figures.
Claimed by the PDP. Different figures. And this is what really triggers us. That
But
there are so much
is your result different from the one PDP brought?
Our result, everybody's result is different from what PDP brought.
Is your result different from the one INEC brought?
Our result different from the one PDP are claimed, because that's one they give to the INEC representative that want to come and represent them.
No, but is INEC coming from PDP?
INEC is not coming. Let me explain something.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me have a clear
Go ahead.
this thing here. INEC has their legal units.
Okay.
And they also have a representative councils that all partake in the tribunal issues. When you spin a witness to come, all the witness will do what? You are allowed to cross-examine them. Did the PDP lawyer cross-examine our witnesses? The question is yes. Did they accept that whatever they are presenting is fact? The answer is yes. Is our claim correct? The answer is yes. And did the law look into the fact and the law as it is? The answer is yes. Based on this, they do, I quoted earlier, that when the investigation were ongoing, because he made a claim of investigation were ongoing, they didn't give us the figure of what happened during the investigation.
Okay.
What happened, he didn't say. And if we can have a satisfied true copy of what happened in 17, and they are now having their own satisfied true copy on 22nd of April, that means that something has happened.
Okay.
Which is their normal, alleged by us. Something has happened.
Okay.
And our results now prove before the court that whatever we are claiming, whatever we are dictating, because like I said, we should be at the people crying out loud. Because
Why
I've
should
never
we be
seen.
crying?
We should be
When
crying.
do you have the
none of our
judgment
prayer-
in your favor?
No, we should be crying because what we even pray for, like the certificate forgery, was not granted to us.
What happened to it?
Was not granted. That's the question
was
we should be
struck out.
asking the panels. We should be asking the
What about the
panels.
second prayer?
We should be asking that there was fake affidavits again, that
Okay.
he took an oath
Okay.
before the commissioner of oath when the court was on strike, and the chief of oath come to the court and also attested.
Sorry.
Thank you. Also attested that this is a forged document. Why is the court not looking at all these facts and make a judgment?
These are questions.
These are questions.
All
So
right.
we are saying if there's anything that they are not convinced with it, they should approach the court of law. I appreciate that when my colleagues say that they are now before the appeal. This is the hope of the masses
common man.
and the common. It's the last ambit. You
All right.
approach, but not forming lies and everything, documentary and hiring people and talks and be throwing a hate speech
All right.
at the public.
Thank you very much. We still on the program Abuja today, and you can see, you can hear, we are on the program talking about the judgment given recently by the FCT Tribunal, looking at the Amac election, of course, other elections in the 6 area councils. And from you, Ian, as we round up, what is your final word?
Thank you so much. My final word is here. The law court, the tribunal, is the hope of all common men and women.
Yes.
And to God be the glory, opportunity is still there for any party who feel aggrieved or who feel not satisfied to push further.
Yes.
And as far as we are concerned, men and women that are going to be at the appealed tribunal are people that have tested legal activities in different capacities.
Okay.
And we are believing that the judiciary will use the appeal tribunal to save its name from the ridicule that the lower tribunal was being misled by some persons.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. From you, what's your final word?
My prayers is one, as I said, the court is the last ambit of the common man. Whoever has a grievance, just like he said, should approach the court of law. And based on popularity, whatever acceptability, we all know that APC is the party in Amac, and the project, the legacy we have laid, this is what makes the masses to have the confidence in us. And if there's anything, we should please stop misleading the general public. If there's any grievances as law-abiding citizens, we should approach the appropriate authority and do the
clarification.
For clarification.
All right. Thank you very much for coming on the show, Mr. Ian.
Thank you so
It's
much.
been having you and you too. All right, Nigerians, that is how far we can go on the program today. Of course, the case is still at the appeal committee of the tribunal. We bring to you as things, activities unfold. I'm Jethro Ilya. Bye for now.